Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show now is the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Mr. Philip Shaibu. He'll be speaking on his person, governance in Edo, his relationship with the governor, his bid to become governor, and so much more. You can join the conversation by calling us on 081 076 41679, 090 241 You can tweet to us at TVC Entertainment, and you can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. You can hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Let me just take a deep dive because we don't have time for less. There's so much to talk to you about. So, we know, based on what we've read in the news, that you're a very ambitious governor. Deputy governor, trying to become governor. You've done 8 years with your current principal, and he's not in support of your ambition based on what we've seen in the newspapers, and yet you're adamant on running for office. Oh God, who's bankrolling you? What's that support, that backing you have? To have the confidence, say, you know what, no matter what, I am doing
this. Yeah, happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
And I think I'm blessed among women this morning. First day of the year.
Yes.
Well, who is bankrolling me? God. God is the one giving me all the money and all everything that I'm using is God. God that is doing that. Because if Philip have to compete with the governor, Philip cannot actually meet up with the governor, knowing that he has the treasury in his disposal, the state treasury. So it's not Philip really against Governor Obaseki. It is Philip that have the grace of God versus Governor Obaseki. So, and when God is in your battle, all the doors open. So, and I'm happy. I'm excited.
Let me allow me for. I know if this let me only jump in, but I have to follow up with that because we've seen the presidential candidate who said something very similar. That it's not about the machinery. It's not about that. The same God that is going to push me. And we saw how the election. So sometimes we just say, if you believe that you don't need the machinery that's on ground to run this thing called politics, you might not work. You need God and machinery and the whole support. So in your view, do you really believe that without this bankroll, this machinery that's available to your principal, can you still become governor?
I need the governor. I need the governor to support me to be governor. But most importantly, I need the people to support me more. Okay. And when I say God, I'm talking about the people. Because God will not come as stand and say, I am God, I'm supporting you. God will use destiny helpers to make it possible. And I have a lot of these destiny helpers that are in. I can bet you that I have a long list of people saying, I will buy your form. We will buy your form. We have collected money. So as I speak to you now, I can tell you the cost of the form. I already have about 10 different people and 2 different groups waiting to be the one to buy the form. So when you put 10 plus 2 times 35 million, just check what is there. So I'm not even going to buy the form by myself. And there are 2 groups again in diaspora, the Boston group and the European group. Those ones who are telling me, look, when are they supposed to buy your form? Because we're already gathering something. But I'm just letting you know so that you don't allow others to do it. So when I say God is there,
He's using people.
He's using people. So the structure is God. And God uses people. And for me, I call it destiny helpers.
Yeah.
Because frankly speaking, I have assisted a lot of people. And by the grace of God, I have worked for people. I worked for 2 governors now in Edo State. And when I mean work, I put everything that I have in terms of my structure, in terms of my name, in terms of money, everything to have 2 governors in Edo State. Comrade Oshomole and Obaseki. Check their trajectory. For them to be governor of the state, check my impact, check what I did for both sides. So, and not only that, I have assisted them to become governor. I'm somebody that I put everything to supporting anybody I want to support. And I can tell you, so for me now, it is my turn. It's my turn for both.
Emiloko.
Yeah, Emiloko now. Emiloko. It's my turn for Comrade Oshomole and Obaseki to support me.
Okay. So I want to ask you a question concerning your relationship with the governor.
Yeah.
I want to have an insight into how it was working with him for the number of years that you've done, 8 years, and how you reacted when you realized that he was not in support based on the relationship you've had with him? Just give us an insight. That would help us understand what is going on.
Yeah, when I discovered that the governor had his own plan separately from supporting me, my take is that I will not fight. I made up my mind I will not fight. I don't want to repeat the mistake of Oshomole. And so I said I was not going to fight, and whatever it is, I will leave it in table. What I just did was to go on my knee and ask God, should I proceed on this journey? And I need signs to proceed. And one of the signs was that, let me continue to beg the governor. Let me use others to talk to the governor. If he persists, if he continues to do what he's doing negatively, it shows that you want me to contest. If he stops, that means you don't want me to contest. And, the attack continues. So I was convinced. Because I asked, those two signs I asked from God, I said, with kind of relationship I've had with this man, with the kind of sacrifice I've made, the sacrifice of supporting the election is what people see, but the sacrifice inside government is complete, is even more in terms of what I've been able to go through, what I've been able to, even personal earnings. I had to leave it. You see, I had to be the fool to allow the system work, and I made up my mind to be the fool in the system. Even in the mix of intimidation, harassment, and even personal, when I mean personal, official entitlement,
you push it
aside. You won't believe that in 8 years, only one jeep for a deputy governor, one.
In 8 years?
In 8 years, one, just one.
How many are you supposed to have?
No, the convoy of the governor and the deputy governor is an official thing. And because of the security implication of the two offices, it's an office. The office of the governor is one, deputy governor, and same structure. But it was a blessing. For me, I saw it as a blessing that I have some vehicles already. So if government are giving this vehicle, this other one will be changing battery or something. So for me, I adjusted and brought in mine, and even bought Belgian vehicles to support.
Okay.
But these are not little ones. There are a lot of sacrifice. But the good news is that I was able to manage till I now decided to contest.
So talking about clarification, many times we've seen, as lay people, we see this constant, fight between a governor and a deputy governor intending to be governor. And so my question is, as politicians, don't you put it into consideration and ask for a written agreement? Was there ever an agreement like that? Is it a gentleman's agreement? Or is it through the course of, being in governance, you decide, oh, no, I want to do this?
There's no written agreement. And in politics, really, it's difficult to just sit down and say you're writing something that will happen 4 years. You see, Edo State, we started, if you must talk about now, you must talk about 2006, 2007, under Comrade and Association. Because all of us were in the same net. We came with the mantra, no to godfatherism. Let's take government back to the people.
Okay.
And that was what brought all of us together to say, we are going to Edo to change it. Because then, the Comrade Governor told us that the only way money can be available for infrastructural development is when you take out the godfathers and bring money, that the money you use in servicing them, bring it to the center, which was completely true. I used the word, said these old people are like a Chevrolet, 1 kilometer, 200 gallons, or So we went on that matter, and I believe in it seriously, all of us. So that is how we came into governance, taking government back to the people, and let's work. So in terms of coming together to say, this is the next, the other one will follow, there was no conversation like that. But we believe that for us to continue what we started, somebody within the system must continue. That is something in quote that is there. And for me, really, ambitious, I'm not an ambitious person. But I'm somebody that believes that certain things must be done rightly. And when people say I'm bishop, I'm not. I was in my comfort zone when I was drafted to become deputy governor. I was not jobless when I was asked to become deputy governor. I was doing very well in the House of Representatives. In fact, it took a lot of my followers to beg me to become deputy governor. they persuaded me to be deputy governor. I was not comfortable with it because my political line was just to be a messenger, speak for the people. You know, as former president of NAS, so that hot blood now, those activism. You know, that's what. But when I was asked about the deputy governor, when the thing came, I saw it as God's design. And what I've met in the system, I thank God that I took that opportunity to be deputy governor, because what I've seen in the executive arm, there's no way I will have seen it in the legislative arm. Right. And the number of people I've been able to affect positively is huge.
Okay. So I am bothered about the method of being, I don't want to fight, being, is it lenient?
Complicit?
At this time, you know, in the face of things, because I understand the deputy governor, the little political science and law that I understand, it's an elected office. It's constitutionally provided for. Yeah. And if you consider the governor a principal, is when you do this. But if you consider your office an existing legally recognized office, you'll be in court demanding, compelling others to compel him to do the needful. So it just doesn't sit well. Maybe as an Edo Gesha, this fight is that, you know, you didn't fight.
Yeah.
How do you think the Edo people received this method that you chose? Or is it just within your circle that you're encouraged?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were shocked because they know me to be a fighter. They know me to be a fighter. And suddenly they saw I'm receiving bashing from all ends. I'm even telling my people, don't reply. The reason is that I'm an experienced politician. I know I'm going to win the primaries. And when I win the primaries, I will need all of them, including the governor. So if I start fighting him now and I get the ticket, he will not support me. He will not be we will not start solving the issues of what I said when I was fighting him. And so my strategy is that even if he slapped me in public, just like they did in the church, I went to greet him, he refused.
We're going there.
No problem. No, Allah. I'm no verse, I'll move. So my strategy was just there. And people actually misunderstood that strategy. Some even thought I've given up, I will not contest the election until I declared.
I like this Emiloko thing that you're talking about. But we saw the presidential, the larger one, how it played out. When it was the time for the South, it was the time for the South, even though the party, some parties did not agree for the Southern ticket. In Edo now, the Edo Central people think it's their time, and you are Edo North. How do you want to play that card? How do you think, based on the timing and the need for the people, how do you think?
Yeah, when I said Emiloko, I mean it with all respect and equity, fairness. It's our turn, and it's my turn in terms of the political circle that we started in 2007. It's my turn. I haven't worked for 2 governors in that circle. It's my turn, and I was active. My name was everywhere, fighting for both. So it's my turn. In terms of senatorial district, Edo Central had governor. Let's just start from 1999.
Yes.
Without going back. If we go back, Edo Central had it twice. But let's start from 1999. Lucky Benedion was from Edo South, governor.
8 years.
8 years. After that, Osumbo, 18 months.
It's from Edo South.
From Edo Central. Edo Central. Governor Osumbo is from Edo Central, and he was governor. And if you check our gazette, you see he's receiving pension as former governor, and at the top of our protocol list is there. Then after Osumbo, Edo North, Oshomole. After Oshomole, it was supposed to now possibly go to Edo Central, but Edo South came again, and Edo South became the governor. You understand? Now, after Edo South, by nomenclature, Edo South, yes, the biggest senatorial. They've had it twice from 1999. The next senatorial district is Edo North, and Edo North had it once, and Edo Central once. So if we must follow population, the next is Edo North. And that's why I'm coming for him. And yeah, that is the equity.
Edo Central,
Yeah.
Osumbo was removed by an election tribunal.
Yeah.
He didn't stay up to
8 years.
4 years. He didn't even make
He was governor. That was what his
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
But he didn't have 8 years.
All the executive order, like
remains.
the court said,
Yes.
everything that I did
Is
is
still-
valid
yes.
and legitimate. So
But
it
for
was
timing
governor.
and equity, do you think Edo North, who had 8 years, is still validly entitled?
Yes, you see, it's lazy mind that talk about senatorial districts when they want to look for something. For me, capacity should be the order of the day. And in terms of the party that I belong, they've never given ticket to a donut person. They've given 3 tickets out.
Yes,
2 to Edo South, 1 to Edo Central. They've not given any to Edo North. So if we go through many parameters, Edo North is the next, and I am Omiloko on this time. And
Now, I'm curious to know if, because we heard a lot of things in the news, and there's some things we assumed. And one of the things is, did you ever sit down with Governor after the stories of how he treated you in church or how your office was closed up and you were sent somewhere? Was there a conversation before or after that? And what was the conversation about, if you can share it?
yeah, I think the only conversation we'd had over this thing was a meeting that was called by one of our leaders and in his house, and over my contest. And as at that time, I made it clear that I was consulting, and I have not made up my mind. And frankly speaking, I was consulting. I'm not somebody that jump into things in a hurry. So I was not sure. I was also asking myself, should I contest this election? So I needed to consult. I started with non-politicians because I wanted to start from that angle, because politicians, some of their interests may come in and they just advise based on their interest. So I decided to go outside. I went to the clergy, went to businessmen, went to those that are not partisan. And the feelings that I got was overwhelming. They were even telling me why certain things that they thought I should be able to continue and why they feel. And I saw it. And at the end of the day, I now made up my mind that, okay, I'm going to fast and pray. And I've seen the governor do X and X. If he continues, that means yes. If he stops, that means no. And the thing now increased. That gave me the confidence. That's why when people see me that, with what you are going through, you look rough or ruffled. I say yes, because I asked God that.
Gotten your calm.
This, yes, and I said, this man continue with this. It means that I should contest. So when he was doing it, he was actually giving me the carbohydrates, the energy to actually contest.
Confirming God's word.
Confirming God's word, and I'm really excited about it. I'm happy about it. Really, really excited.
When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.